Howdy!
Hi, sweetie.
Lonely when you know how bad it be.
This is part 2 of the Halloween weekend extravaganza. If you want to watch part 1, you can click right there and watch my student short film, which is kind of suspenseful, drama suspense type deal. Not horror, but drama suspense. And in this video, we're going to talk about our top 3, her top 3 and my top 3 scary suspenseful books. Ones that we would recommend that you read if you want a good scare.
Should they know that we actually are in our Halloween costumes? Or are we going to discuss
yes.
that?
Yeah, I didn't bleach my hair. This is my Halloween costume. I'm just a cowgirl.
Not just a cowgirl.
Okay, I'm a cowgirl. Howdy. And she is
River Song.
AKA my sister,
Yes.
Michelle. There's going to be 3 parts in total.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of idea.
Yes.
So some pre-Halloween fun, and then it will end with
Halloween
some
fun.
ghost stories
Yes.
and urban myth stuff on Halloween.
Yes. I'm excited about that one. So, yeah, on to our favorite suspenseful, scary, woo books. So I don't know about you, but mine are not horror gore stories. As you guys know, I'm a bit of a wimp for that. But they are suspenseful and they are scary, and I'm looking forward to telling you guys about them. And I will let you go first.
Okay, so mine, of course, mine also are not gory kind of stories, horror stories. I like suspense. I like something that's going to keep me waiting to see what's going to happen next, what's coming around the corner, when are they going to know what I know, you know, all these different things, right? And so one of mine...
You pretty much know everything by the first page most of the time.
No.
Let's be honest.
No, that's more with, well, some with books.
She's really good at guessing what's going to happen at the end.
Shows.
Like movies, she has sworn to not say anything because she's ruined endings for people by accident.
Yeah, I used to think, when I was younger, well, everybody knows this. Everybody knows that it's so-and-so did it, or that, you know, whatever.
They can all pick up on it. She didn't know she had a special skill.
Well, yes, I have a set of skills.
She does. I always go over my stories with her before I publish them or produce them or whatever, because I need to know, because if she doesn't know what's going to happen at the end, well, actually that could be a bad thing.
It can be. There's been a couple things that I've read, and I'm like, okay, that came right out of left field.
Yeah, makes no sense whatsoever. There has to be setups and payoffs and things like that. You have to get to the end and be like, that's why that happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want people to be able to guess it either. So I guess what I do is I go to her to make sure, because she can usually tell if it's, like really, really obvious, or if, I won't say that. But you can tell if you can tell different levels of how you were able to guess it, is what I mean. Yeah. You can be like, okay, that was too easy, or just by how enjoyable it still was, I guess. Yeah. I'm thinking, I'm supposing, I have no idea, let's be honest. Okay. Alright, so, and actually, just so you know, this is just a little over a year since we did our first Sisters, Authors, Friends video. So if we had thought of it earlier, we could have done a video to celebrate our 1 year Sisters, Authors, Friends,
you know what,
anniversary.
This year flew by.
It did. Yeah. It did. And you know what? Facebook failed me. Facebook told me, oh, this happened 1 year ago today. It was part 2 of our first video. And I'm like, you couldn't have told me that for part 1, and we could have done something to...
Well, there's probably something much more exciting that happened back when we did part 1. and they're like, oh yeah, that was, you know,
yeah,
that one with Tucker. That
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it was something with Tucker. Anyone who follows me on Facebook, you know that most of the memories I share, or that get put up to, or that get any memories that get highlighted to me by Facebook, 99% of the time they're about Tucker. But to be fair, 99% of the time what I post on Facebook is about Tucker.
Well, he is a very newsworthy cat.
He is. He is. So if you're thinking about following me on Facebook, that would be something to keep in mind. Okay.
You will be following a cat.
Yes.
With a furry butt.
Oh, he's got a very furry butt.
Well, at least you don't see his butthole.
This is true.
That's another story.
His little pucker. Yeah, that is another story. Okay.
Back to
our books. We do this a lot. We go off on tangents, little rabbit trails. So yeah. Anyway, go on.
So my first scary book, it's actually a series. So it's the Odd Thomas series. So Dean Koontz, yes, I introduced her to Dean Koontz, and I really like Dean Koontz as well.
Thank you for that.
She's read more Dean Koontz than I have, but yeah, you
I
have.
think I have. Okay.
But anyway, so this isn't the first one. This is the second one, right? But anyway, Odd Thomas. I really enjoy the Odd Thomas series. It's got scary stuff. It's got suspense. Mm-hmm. It's like without too many spoilers. River Song line. Without too many spoilers, and you pretty much know this from the beginning. He sees dead people.
Yeah, I think it's even in the blurb, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not.
It's like even on the back, or it's in the
tagline
probably, and stuff like that. So I don't think it's much of a spoiler.
So he sees dead people, and some of them are good, some of them aren't, and some of them are confused.
Right.
So
and most of them have been murdered, right?
Well, most of the ones that not all of them.
Really?
No,
I haven't read the whole series, but
yeah, because he has some companions that travel along with him.
Oh yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
there's too many spoilers here. But yeah, so the Odd Thomas series, this one's Forever Odd and Brother Odd, and then Odd Hours.
And Odd is actually his name.
Yeah, his name is Odd. And there's a cute story that goes with that. And each of his parents has a different story as to why his name is Odd.
Which is also somewhat odd.
Well, hey, that's
his
actually not odd. Parents have, if you ask your parents why they called you by a certain name, they'll probably both have a different story, especially if they're not in the same room. But
that's very true.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, the Odd Thomas series, really enjoy it. And it's written as though Odd is writing the story. Mm-hmm. And so you know what Odd knows, right? But he's very fun, and like, so there's times where it lifts, you know, it's funny and it's quirky and things like that, and other times it's scary and it's really sad. So yeah, it's a roller coaster, but it's a really fun roller coaster. So, and I believe, my understanding was that when Dean Koontz originally wrote Odd Thomas, he wrote it as a standalone. He didn't intend it to be a series.
Oh, it was just so popular that
yeah, he had to keep writing more books. I wish he'd do that
for Moonlight Bay, for the Christopher Snow series.
Well, I want got another 2 books out of it.
No, I want another one.
No, write them.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be completely fine with that.
But yeah, so Odd Thomas series, I highly recommend. I know you would really enjoy the Odd Thomas. We had to do an arm wrestle to figure out who could actually mention these books in this. There
are a lot of Dean Koontz books in this video because we both love Dean Koontz, but there are other books as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, so the Odd Thomas series, I highly recommend. I believe you'd enjoy it. If you know, like, if you're looking for gore or something like that, you're really not gonna get that here in these books. But fun and a fun scare and just a little bit of everything.
Can't wait to see what happens next. And page turner.
Yeah, and then you're waiting with bated breath for the next book.
Snowball.
The series has ended though. He did bring it to an end. So
to keep from doing too many Dean Koontz books in a row, I'm going to mention my book that is not Dean Koontz, and that is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. It is seriously creepy. I only have it as an audiobook, so I'll put a screenshot of it here without blocking you out. Yeah, it's
creepy.
Yes, it is creepy. Very creepy. And there's actually a scene in the middle that I had never read him before reading this book, so I didn't know how far into the creep factor he was going to go and if he was going to cross the line into gore. So I kind of skipped a little bit in the audiobook. It had the potential to be a gory scene, and I was listening to it as I was drifting off to sleep, and I really didn't want that. So, but yeah, Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere, I mean, it's extremely popular on YouTube. That's how I found out about it in the first place. And I bought the audiobook where the author is actually narrating, and he does such an amazing job at the narration. And just, yeah, it's about an underworld of London. So like there's the regular London above ground, but then when you go underground, there's like this whole other society. I don't want to give spoilers. Spoilers. So yeah, it's a really good book. It's really well written and narrated. And I have.
This was on Audible? Is that the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Audible.
Not a sponsor.
No, not a sponsor. Richard Mayhew is a young man with a good heart and an ordinary life, which is changed forever when he stops to help a girl he finds bleeding on a London sidewalk. His small act of kindness propels him into a world he never dreamed existed. There are people who fall through the cracks, and Richard has become one of them, and he must learn to survive in this city of shadows and darkness, monsters and saints, murderers and angels, if he is ever to return to the London that he knew. Boom, boom. Yeah, that's the synopsis so that I don't give spoilers. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Awesome book. Highly recommend. Very creepy. Very, like it said, there's monsters and supernatural type stuff. And as far as I know, there's no gore. But there might be in that one scene that I skipped. I don't know. Not a lot of gore. There's blood and stuff, but not like over the top, gory, hatchet, blah, stuff. Blah.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, so your next one.
Yeah. So my next one is, I like Edgar Allan Poe. When I was in high school, I started reading some of Edgar Allan Poe, and I really enjoy his work. And so one thing that, whenever anybody talks about even like a spooky story or whatever, I always think of Telltale Heart. And I know that's one of his more well-known short stories and works. But yeah, I really enjoyed that short story, and just the trip that you take with the narrator, and just one of those untrustworthy kind of narrators. I think what they call it. There's a phrase. There's
it is untrustworthy. The unreliable narrator, or
maybe
something
that's
like that.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Because I really enjoyed Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd as well, and that's a similar idea.
Okay.
With the narrator, I just find that so much fun because, and maybe it's because a lot of times I will guess what's coming up or where it's leading, and when it's a narrator you can't trust, it's like, ooh, are they leading me down the garden path and it's actually this way? And yeah, so, but yeah, Telltale Heart has the spook factor, of course, and but it's also, yeah, it's just a fun scary read,
Okay, I'm gonna have to read that, I think, maybe.
Oh yeah,
maybe not late at night.
Wow, yeah. Oh boy, I have stories about reading books and late at night, but we'll save that. We'll save that for the.
That'll be in the next video.
Yeah, the
Part
ghost
3.
stories.
Yeah, the ghost stories. It's going to be ghost stories,
urban myths,
campfire stories, but also just scary stuff that happened to us when we were kids that just kind of freaked us out a little bit. That's gonna be
lots
fun.
of fun.
That's gonna be
Thrills
fun.
and chills.
It's gonna be as well, because once you find out what actually, some of them, once you find out.
Spoilers. I really like Edgar Allan Poe. I would highly recommend him. Telltale Heart is just a short story, so it's not a big investment of your time. So yeah, if you like scary stories or scary stuff or dark or, you know, that kind of gothic kind of stuff, you would enjoy Edgar Allan Poe. And I would recommend him. And like I said, if you like that, but you don't have the time to invest in, you know, a novel, then...
Or you just want to read it for Halloween to get scared on Halloween.
Yeah.
Then that would be a good choice.
Or just some fun stuff with some friends even, you know, if you do a read aloud with each other, a group. That's a great one. And then he has lots of poems too, other short stories. So yeah, if you want to do it, if you want to have a nice, quick, short, scary read or dark read, Edgar Allan Poe has my thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
So this is part 2 of our Halloween Extravaganza Weekend. If you want to watch part 1 first, you can click there and you can watch a suspense film that I wrote back in school. And it's just a short little film, student film. But I was happy with it. But yeah, it's like 4 minutes long. But you can click there and watch that if you want. And
So
my
I
turn.
did mine.
Yeah, it's my turn. Okay, so this is a Dean Koontz book that I don't have the physical copy, and that kind of says something. This book scared the crap out of me. Okay, I haven't read it again since the first time I read it, and the TV movie that they made based on the book also scared the crap out of me. Like, I cannot drive down the highway without wondering, wonder what that person's like the other drivers. Like, that's might be a bit of a spoiler, but it's anyway, it's called Intensity, and boy does it live up to its name. I'll put the screenshot here. Oh my gosh, the book is so scary. So I don't remember a whole lot about it. I think I blocked it out, to be quite honest. So it's this guy, serial killer guy, who travels around in his RV, breaks into people's homes, and this is the parts that I remember, that he basically he kills, like, slaughters people, and then just hops back in his RV and, you know, goes on his merry way. But the protagonist in the book is a guest in one of those homes. She's visiting with a friend of hers, and her friend and her friend's parents get, like, slaughtered, and this girl, she ends up in the back of his RV and is stuck there when he drives away. So she's like, yeah, that's all I remember. I'm pretty sure that happens in the first chapter, and I blocked out the rest. It scared the bejeepers out of me. So I honestly can't say if there's a lot of gore. I don't think there is, because back then Dean Koontz didn't put a lot of gore in his books. Even now he does it, except for that one series that
Bad place.
I don't remember there being a whole lot of gore in that. Not to the point where I stopped reading. Like, there is violence in his books, but with the Frankenstein series he just took it up to the Stephen King level, and there's a reason I don't read Stephen King. So, great. I mean, Stephen King has great themes in his books.
With the Frankenstein series.
You finished the series, didn't
Yeah,
you?
I read the series. And yeah, there is some really difficult stuff in it. But for the most part, it's just centered around one character. So, in the book, there's a number of different characters, so you'll be... stuff that includes other characters really doesn't get into that stuff. And it doesn't happen as often, but it does. And it's uncomfortable, and it's ugly, and it's gross. But yeah, it's not through the whole book.
But it was often enough that I got, like, when I was first reading it, I can't remember if it was the second book that I DNF'd, or if it was the first book, but I was skipping so many pages and so many scenes that I got to the point where I'm like, why am I even reading this? Like, I didn't know how much I was missing from those scenes in terms of little Easter eggs or little setups and to be paid off later on. And I was like, why am I wasting my time reading this when it's like, it was turning my stomach. I wanted to throw up when I was reading it. And as much as I loved the two protagonists, like that the male cop reminded me of like Timothy Oliphant, or Oliphant from his, when he was on Gone in 60 Seconds. That's one of her honeys. She loves him. You see the instant smile come across her face. But when he was in Gone in 60 Seconds, he reminded me of that character. And I loved the female protagonist as well. I've said it before that I love the way Dean Koontz writes his female protagonists. But or female characters in general. But I couldn't.
But if you're okay with that, or if you can get past
if you can
that
stomach
or whatever,
it,
then yeah, it's a good series.
Koontz is a great writer.
It's good stories.
So yeah, maybe I'll try again. If you got through the whole thing, maybe I can. I don't know.
I wouldn't. I mean, there's a lot of other books that you'd like to read.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to.
I don't know why I'm so sensitive to that.
No,
if you got through it.
It's cool.
Yeah, so Intensity.
Yeah.
Awesome book. Scared the bejeepers out of me, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't like really gory. I can't say for certain because I don't remember most of it.
I'm guessing it's intense.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But if you want a scare and you have time for a full novel, or maybe you're a fast reader, you can read a full book in a day. I know there's booktubers on here who do that, and yeah, all the power to you. That'll scare the pants off you. Okay, so what's your next book?
So mine is, yes, another Dean Koontz one. Surprise! It's 77 Shadow Street. I really liked that one. It's thicker than a lot of his other novels, but really enjoyed it. I think part of what I really liked about it is it's an old apartment building, right? And you get stories, different things from different occupants of the building, and you never know when something's going to happen where you're just kind of thrown into, basically it's like another universe almost, right? It's like you just walk through a door and boom, everything is changed. It's not like it was 5 minutes ago, and so yeah, you get thrown into stuff, and the elevator is a spooky place. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one, and just trying to put the pieces together and what it all means. I like books that keep me guessing, not so that it doesn't link up later and it doesn't make any sense and it's a real forced jigsaw puzzle. Bang that together and make it work. I don't like that. But when somebody's really crafty, which Dean Koontz is right on the money, and he just kind of can thread it all together into this tapestry of fun. I really enjoyed that book. But yeah, it kept me guessing, and sometimes I was just like, what's gonna happen?
I like books like that. Like, I love suspense thriller. I just don't like the gore. And you know what? I might read Intensity again sometime if it scared me that much. But since I don't remember everything that happened in it, I'm kind of scared to read it because I don't know. Maybe there is gore. I don't know.
Well, maybe I'll just read it and I'll give you a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thanks. My last two books are a series as well, and I mean, I've talked about these books many times on this channel. Dean Koontz, Fear Nothing, and Seize the Night. These books, they don't scare me anymore because I've read them
many times.
Many times. But they are scary. Like, they do have like the jumps in the middle of the night, and like the what's gonna happen next, and the cloudy and the the foggy nights, and things jumping out at you out of the fog, and like eyes glowing from behind the fog, and it's just
feeling that you're being watched.
Yes.
Right?
It's got major creep factor, and you just don't know who to trust in the story. You don't know who has changed, and I don't mean for the better. But one thing, if you like reading about smart animals,
yes, if you're an animal lover,
they don't talk, but they communicate in their own way, and yeah, if you're an animal lover, you'll love these books.
Yes, some of the animals are not nice.
Yeah, no.
Some of them are.
Yeah. So that's another thing. You're like, which one of these animals is going to lead us astray, and which one is going to lead us to safety? And it's always a mystery. You just don't know. Anyway, yeah, so highly recommend Fear Nothing and Seize the Night. Again, I know, surprise, surprise, surprise. And yeah, I'm sorry, not sorry. Thanks for watching our video for our favorite scary, suspenseful thriller books. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like,
comment,
and subscribe. We didn't even plan that ahead. That went well. Have a great day, guys. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Bye-bye.